Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Nilesh. How are you?
I'm good.
So, how many people do you expect today?
Not sure. Let's see. Maybe 50 or so.
Okay.
Because 39 have registered on our website.
Okay.
So, don't know. And I've sent it in other groups also. So let's see. I've just shared on other groups as well.
Uh-huh.
And you are mentioning about some other colleges, na? I think.
Yeah. Yesterday I was in Hyderabad, and today some Delhi colleges. There were about 70 students who joined in the morning, and then tomorrow I'm going to Chennai.
Okay.
Idea is to tell the students how to prepare for this competition.
Correct.
तो सब कुछ वेबसाइट पर नहीं लिखा होता है, सब कुछ इंटरनेट में नहीं मिलता है, तो कुछ एक्सप्लेन भी करना पड़ता है.
Correct.
तो वही.
So, sir, I'm actually in travel. I'm in Gujarat right now. I'm outside. I'm actually at a factory.
Oh, okay.
So, but Diksha and Mayuri from our team are there.
Okay.
So they will. They can help you.
Okay.
With any
technical
any
issues.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. मुझे लगता है आपको कुछ ऐसा ट्रेनिंग कोर्सेज शुरू कर देना चाहिए इस कंपटीशन के लिए.
Yes.
अभी हमने क्या किया है कि 2 days ago I received lots of requests.
Correct.
For the past 1 week कि आप हमको थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम दीजिए प्रिपेयर करने के लिए. We have registered but we need more time. So lots of people have registered for the competition, but they all wanted some more time. So we, instead of June, we are now going to have the competition conducted in September, end September. Are you there, Nilesh?
Yes, I'm there.
End of September में तो अभी 4 महीना है.
Okay.
और रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए भी एप्लीकेशन सबमिट करने के लिए भी हमने 1 महीना एक्सटेंड किया है, बट इसके आगे एक्सटेंड नहीं होगा फॉर श्योर.
ओके.
क्योंकि फिर वो प्रोग्राम बन नहीं पाएगा, फिर 1 साल का गैप आ जाएगा अगले साल.
करेक्ट.
सो अभी हमने एक्सटेंड कर दिया है, 1 महीना एक्सटेंड किया है जून तक रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए, और प्रिपरेशन के लिए 4 महीना दे दिया है. सो व्हाट आई सजेस्ट इज यू शुड स्टार्ट सम प्रोग्राम्स from your food pathshala.
Yes.
Prepare the students for the competition.
Sure.
इसको जितनी जल्दी स्टार्ट करोगे उतना अच्छा है. पूरा इंडिया में सभी बच्चों को, जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, ग्रेजुएट्स, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स, if they all start joining your this thing, you have to design it in a focused manner. तो क्या होगा कि स्टूडेंट लोग जो हैं थोड़ा सा एंकरेज होंगे. और
Definitely, sir. We will offer training programs also for this.
हाँ, कुछ ऐसा ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम शुरू करो टेक्निकल एरियाज में, नॉन टेक्निकल एरियाज में. उससे लोगों में, बच्चों में थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग होगा और भी ज्यादा.
करेक्ट.
तो अभी 2 तो बज गया है.
Yes, sir. Let's wait. Yeah, I think we should wait for another 2-3 minutes or so. And sir, after we start off, is it okay if I log out because I'm here outside a little bit? But Diksha and Mayuri from my team can they can handle.
Yeah, you can go ahead if you are there in a factory. So obviously you would need to. But good that you joined in and for a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So Mayuri, keep an eye on the waiting room also, okay? And please admit people who will come in the waiting room.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And I think I see Anjali and Komal and Aman as well as Aditi. Can you also request your college students, other students from your college, to also join? You can share the Zoom link with them. It's a very informative program. So, and Sanjay sir is here with us. Sanjay sir, should we start? I think people are joining in, but
Yeah, we can join. We can start, I think, Nilesh.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So thank you. And is it okay if we go live on YouTube as well?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Diksha or Mayuri, if you can go live on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I think it's already there.
Okay, perfect. So good afternoon and welcome all to our today's program, which has been organized by foodtechpathshala.com. We are here for the awareness program on the All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professionals. We are blessed to be where we'll be guided today by Mr. Sanjay Dave sir, who's a former chairperson of Codex and former advisor with Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. So with this, I welcome and request Sanjay sir, please take over and please guide us about this program.
Thank you, Nilesh, for organizing this this meeting. And I'm happy to be here. And I do see that people are joining one by one. Basically, the objective of this program today is to explain. I've done this before also, but want to explain this program once again to all the students and to all the young people as to why you should participate in this program and how should you prepare for this competition. So preparation for the competition is extremely important, and the right way to prepare, what kind of questions do you expect, what is the benefit of this program, all these things I would like to explain in a short presentation. And I would recommend that you all, I'm sure you would have lots of questions. Please make a list of your questions, put it in the chat box, and once I have completed my presentation, please ask me all these questions and I'll be happy to respond to all of them. So what I will do is I will share my presentation first of all. Somebody is saying something. Najmul Chaudhary wants to say something, it seems. Thank you, Najmul. I think there was some music coming in. We all love music. Can you see my presentation? Is my presentation visible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In case you notice sometimes the slides don't move forward. So if something of that sort happens, please stop me and we'll find a way how to do it once again. Okay. So basically the objective of this program, as I said, is to identify and select young talent. And once these people are selected, we certify this talent as having qualified or as being qualified to be a business leader, either in their own organization or in a large company. You may already be aware that we have something like 150 to 160 colleges and universities in the country giving education in food technology, food microbiology, food safety areas. But supposing I am one of such students. Yeah, Tushar, you please mute yourself so that others can listen. Thank you, Tushar. So if I am a student working or studying food technology in some remote place, and I look for a job, but I don't get a job properly in a big company. So I am located in a small place. How do I get identified? I'm a competent person. At the end of the day, all of you who are studying food science, all of you are looking for a good job. But everybody doesn't get identified because many organizations, many big companies do not travel all the way to smaller cities for campus placements. And the universities also are not able to reach out to all the institutions. So if one of you or me, myself, I'm a competent person, how do I get identified? How do I get a good job? After all, I have spent money on my education. So this is something which we have tried to create through this competitive exam. Wherever you apply, whether it is a civil service or FSSAI or any university, you go through a selection process and then get selected. And everybody doesn't get selected. If there are 20 seats, they will take only 20 people. So we are creating this platform whereby students get identified, young people get identified, and have a possibility of getting a job in a big company, whether in India or outside India. So this is the program Light. And what I propose to do is to explain to you how the whole program was created, what are the benefits of this program to each one of you, and how the program has been structured. How should you prepare for the competition? And when you compete and you get selected, what happens after that? So this is something that I'm going to explain to you. You know, there are civil services in the country. UPSC conducts examinations for administrative service, for foreign service, for police service and all that. But there is nothing for food safety. There's no such program in the country. What do we do? Obviously, government doesn't create positions every year in the regulatory system. That is why they don't have a UPSC system for food safety or food science. So let us create one. So it was during the time of the COVID that I thought about this program to create this, and started writing it. But obviously, I alone cannot handle it. So I approached the Nestle Food Safety Institute. So Nestle's headquarters is in Switzerland. And they have two branches of the Food Safety Institute. One is in India and the other is in China. So I approached the one in India, which is close to Delhi. And they said that we will not be able to take a final call on this. We need to have a clearance from the headquarters, which is in Switzerland. So they invited me to make a presentation, which I did. And these people were very excited about the whole thing. And they said that this is a great program. Nowhere else in the country or in the world such a program exists. Let us do that. And then my challenge was to identify an institution which should get, excuse me, any question? No. And then my next challenge was to identify an institution that will conduct the competition. So I was thinking of different organizations, IIT Mumbai, then IIM Ahmedabad, ISB Hyderabad. Then I thought of NIFTEM. You must have heard about this. This is an organization which gives education in food technology, food microbiology, food science. And it is a body of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. It's a government organization. And I met the Vice Chancellor, and he expressed interest in doing it. And this NIFTEM is actually the first institute in the country in the area of food science to have been recognized as the Institute of National Importance, INI. So it made a lot of sense for associating both the two organizations, the Nestle Food Safety Institute and the NIFTEM. And both of them signed an MOU and they decided to work forward. So we started working on developing questions. I think somebody wants to ask something. I suggest that please mute yourself so that others are not disturbed. Thank you. So it's more of a partnership program. And this partnership then started. Now, we developed the program. We created the charter of responsibilities for both the organizations. And now we have to open it up for the young people. So first of all, it is important for you to know why is it important. What is the benefit of this program? So first of all, first, it is the nation that comes first. What is the benefit to the country? This year, it is an all India competition. Next year, it will be South Asia, including our region. The objective is to build an image for our country, a better image. Sometimes our products get rejected abroad. Many countries are initiating lots of efforts to promote food safety in their countries, particularly in Africa and Latin American countries. And their export is increasing into developed countries. Why is our export not increasing? Our export is about $40 billion. Why we should not aim at $400 billion in 10 years? In the software companies, in the software industry, lots of Indians are leading these institutions. They are the CEOs. Why can't we have you people become the CEOs of food companies globally? How can we create that opportunity? Through a unique program that we have developed. And promote food safety in our region. Promote regional trade so that business grows. More companies come up, more startups come up. And our export to the developed countries, whether it is Canada or US or Europe or Japan or Australia, increases manifold. This will help our economy. So that is the idea. So we want better trade for all of us, for our country's sake. And then comes what is your interest? How does it benefit you? This program aims at recognizing talent, at certifying you through a defined process of certification and promoting leadership amongst you. I would like to see you people as leaders of big companies, whether it is Nestle or Kellogg's or Pepsi or Coke or Haldiram, whichever company, I mean, and whether in India or anywhere else in the world. So this program, if we create 100 experts and certified talent in the country through this defined process, if we have 100 this year, 100 next year, 100 next year, 100 next year, in a period of 10 years, we will have 1,000 such professionals. And recognized and certified as safe food business professionals. How does it help the country's industry? How does it help the regulators? Whether in India or outside India, if you get selected, you might get posted somebody in New York, somebody in London, or somebody in Rome, or in Brazil. You need to know the laws of that country. Even if you do not go outside India, you join a company in India, your company wants to export to the other regions, other countries. You need to know the law of that country. Even if you want to export to Bangladesh, you need to know the law of Bangladesh, food laws. So you need to understand the regulatory system of different countries. So your presence as business leaders will help the regulators, will help the industry in those countries. It can also help global organizations like FAO, WHO, International Trade Center, World Bank. World Bank hires lots of food safety professionals. When I did the quiz competition in Bangladesh in 2018, about 3.5 years ago, it was sometime in October 2018, there were 12 colleges and universities of food technology. And I invited the FAO representative. Will you believe the winner of those rounds was hired by FAO on the spot? 2 persons. It's an opportunity. Similarly, in this kind of a program, if you get selected, you have the opportunity of getting absorbed or selected by big companies. It could be regulators, it could be World Bank, FAO, WHO, anyone. There are more than 240 international non-governmental organizations in the area of food safety all over the world, all over the globe. And you know, many of them are in India. They would need people like you. And we give this opportunity to them as well as you to have a job for yourself, and they find the best people to join them to promote food safety globally. So if these are the benefits, it's a win-win situation for the companies, for the countries, for the regulators, for you, for global bodies. What should be the criteria for applying? We will hold this competition once in a year. Once every year. And people with food science background preferably would be the ideal candidates. People who are studying food technology or microbiology or nutrition or biochemistry, any of these food science areas, food analysis. But since we want young people to start, you don't become a CEO on day one. You don't become the managing director of Nestle or Kellogg's immediately after coming out of college or after getting selected through this process. But yes, you are identified as a person who is capable of leading that organization. So then in the organization, you grow with the organization. If there is a dean or a vice chancellor or a director of NIN or a director of CFTRI, they don't become directors in day one. When I became the global chairman of Codex, I did not become on day one. It took me 15 years to become the Codex chair. So be prepared. So that's why we want young people. So the age limit we have kept as 32, but in the case of women and other OBC, SC and ST people, we have given a relaxation of 3 years. But this relaxation is only for eligibility purposes. There is some discount in the fee for OBC, SC and ST category people. The fee is not much. It is there on the website. I think it is 1,500 rupees or 200 rupees for OBC and maybe 1,000 rupees for SC, ST people. But this is only in the case of eligibility. You have to compete equally with everyone. Who all are eligible? All science graduates, all graduates, or people studying in the final semester, or postgraduates, or PhDs. You may be working. As long as you are within that age frame, age limit, you are eligible to apply. And for sure, if 2,000 or 5,000 people apply or 10,000 people apply, everybody will not be one of those 100 people. So you have opportunity to apply again. There is no limit to the number of attempts. In many competitions, there is a limit of say 3 times or 4 times. Here we have not kept a limit. The only limit is your age. So please prepare yourselves for this competition. And I will now explain what is it. It's a 3-stage process. First is identification. Second is mentoring, and third is selection. How do we identify you? If there are 10,000 people applying or 5,000 people applying, how do we identify the best of you? So there will be an objective type exam covering technical areas of food science and also covering some non-technical areas, which I will explain to you in a few slides. It's a computer-based exam. You can give this exam sitting at home as long as you have a computer with a camera, because you will be monitored. It's a computer-based exam. So first stage is the objective type exam of 3 hours, 1 hour for non-technical areas and 2 hours for technical areas. There will be 4 levels of questions. First of all, the questions will be of a variety, from food technology to food microbiology to food nutrition to WTO to codex, biochemistry, food analysis, various. In non-technical areas, it would be general knowledge, current affairs, arithmetic skills, English vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, business management, general business management, all these things. The second thing is level of difficulty and the nature of questions. First, let me explain the nature of questions. The questions could be multiple choice questions. Questions could be direct questions. We give you a question, for example, what is the capital of India? So the answer is New Delhi. So such direct questions. Then there will be true false questions. There will be fill in the blanks. There will be abbreviations. There will be visuals. Supposing we show you a photograph of Dr. Kurian, Varghese Kurian, and we say, please identify the personality. So your answer will be Dr. Varghese Kurian. Or we give you a logo of, say, the easiest one could be FSSAI logo, where FSSAI name is blacked out, colored, and we give you some logo. Of course, FSSAI logo is not a good example to give, but let us say Apida. So there is an Apida logo with Apida name on it, and Apida we remove, and we ask you identify the logo. Similarly, several other questions. And then there are 4 levels of questions. The questions could be level 1, which is the easiest one, level 2 more difficult, level 3 more difficult, level 4 more difficult, like Kaun Banega Crorepati. So we give you X number of questions in level 1, covering all these subjects. And if you answer all of them, you graduate to level 2. And the computer screen will give you the questions. Questions will keep popping up on your screen. Even if 10 of you are sitting on a table with your own laptops, the questions will be different to each other. There is a question bank of more than 6,000 questions. You don't know what question will come to Shahina, what question will come to Rituja, what question will come to Sami Qureshi. Questions will be different. And supposing you are not able to answer all the questions in level 2. So you continue to get questions at level 2. And when you are able to answer X number of questions in level 2, then the computer will graduate you to level 3. And you can see on the top of the screen how many marks are allotted to this question. For level 1 question, there is 1 mark. For level 2, 2 marks. For level 3, 3 marks. For level 4, 4 marks. So what we have done is, and there is no negative marking. You cannot review your question, you just go forward. If you don't know the answer, pass. Go to the next one. And there is no fixed number of questions. Like in FSSAI or UPSC, you have 100 questions and you have to answer 100 questions with negative marking. Here, what we are saying is as many questions as you can answer. There is no limit. I may answer 100 questions. Rutuja may answer 150 questions. Sami Qureshi may answer 175 questions. Shreya may answer 500 questions. Depending upon your speed, depending upon your knowledge of the subject. And that is what will make a difference. And at the end of 3 hours, when you submit your question paper, you will get your final score. How many questions you did and what is your final score. And you can download a certificate that you participated in this competition. If you do not submit your question paper in 3 hours, excuse me, somebody is talking. Shreya, please put yourself on mute. Thank you. No, not yet. Shreya, please mute yourself. So what I was saying was, if you do not submit your answer sheet in 3 hours, the computer will submit it exactly after 3 hours and give you your score. So objective type questions, 3 hours exam will be there. And at that stage, we will shortlist 500 out of 2,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 candidates. I do not know how many candidates will apply, but we will take the top 500 based on this course. Supposing at the 500th position, there are 5 candidates, we will take all 5 of them, then it will be 505 candidates, doesn't matter. Excuse me, please. Can you please mute yourself, Madam Shreya Upadhyay? May I request you to please mute yourself? Otherwise, I would request the organizers to mute you. Let's not disturb others, please. So we will shortlist 500 of you. These 500 people will then take a subjective type exam, which will also be of 3 hours. And in this subjective type exam, you will have some questions in technical areas and some in non-technical areas. In technical areas, you will be given 5 questions, out of which 1 will be compulsory. And from the remaining 4, you have to answer 3. Similarly, in non-technical areas, you will have 3 questions, 1 will be compulsory, and out of the remaining 2, you have to answer 1. This will also be an online exam. All these are online exams. And at that stage, we will identify 250 people. Now, all this identification is on the basis of your technical competence and your general knowledge and aptitude, which means that these 250 people are really the best people. But our aim is to take 100 people. What is the next stage? The next stage, after we have done your technical competence evaluated, we want to do mentoring of all of you and give you training in soft skills like presentation skills, negotiation skills, discussion skills. How do you participate in meetings? How do you participate in a group discussion? How do you present your arguments? those kinds of things, and there will be experts who will come and talk to you. These 250 people will then be divided into maybe 20 groups or 18 groups, and each person will have to participate during the mentoring program. This is a 4-day program, which is also an online program. It's actually 5 days, but 4 days is of training, and 5th day is of giving feedback to you so that you know where you want to improve. And after the mentoring is done, then these 250 people will go for a group discussion and interview. The group discussion can be on any subject under the sun, need not necessarily be related to food technology or food business. We could give you a subject related to discuss climate change and the position of India. Discuss the Ukraine war. Discuss the oil crisis or the problems in Sri Lanka. Or Grammys Award. Anything could be given to you, any subject, whether it is related to arts and culture or sports or politics, international politics, domestic politics, food science, food business, food regulations, any subject of group discussion. When I gave an exam in 1975, and I was given a group discussion subject of oil producing and exporting countries and their strategy, and we had to discuss in a group. I am a scientist by education, and I was given this subject to discuss. So group discussion, the objective of group discussion is an interview, is to see how you think logically, how fast can you think, how logically you can think, how logically you can present your arguments, how can you keep the group together without creating any discord amongst yourselves. How do you bring the other people to your point of view and convince them? That is what a negotiation is. If you are going to be in business, you would need to understand negotiation skills. And that is what mentoring is. And that is the test of your mentoring in a group discussion. And an interview, how do you participate in a meeting? How do you behave yourself? How do you carry yourself in a meeting? That is what we are going to see. We are going to scan the candidate inside out, starting from technical competence to global awareness, GK, then writing skills. How do you analyze the questions that are given to you, and how do you present it in writing, and then group discussion, then discussion. So throughout this, you will see that there are different stages of scanning you, starting from your knowledge to writing and to speaking and participating in group discussion and interview. And at that stage, which now this group discussion and interview will not be an online program. It will be an in-person program. And then we will select the top 100 people for further training. Now, these 100 people are the final people who are selected. And these 100 people will undergo a 1-month rigorous residential training at NIFTIM. And this training is not on food technology. You are already qualified for food technology. This training is to build leadership in you. There will be diplomats who will come and talk to you. There will be business leaders who will come and talk to you. They will give you training. There will be senior retired bureaucrats who will come. All kinds of people. There will be regulators who will come. It's a paid program. It's not a free program because there is a cost to the entire program. Of course, the cost will be divided amongst 100 people, So therefore, all the 100 people will have to pay for this training of 1 month. And this money has to be paid to NIFTEM, not to anyone else. But we are also looking at possibility of sponsorships. Sponsorships by corporates, sponsorships by Nestle Food Safety Institute, by NIFTEM, by certain other people. Basically, the aim is to see an opportunity that some of your cost can be reduced. I do not know what the cost will be. I have no idea about it. It could be 10,000 rupees, it could be 15,000 rupees, it could be 50,000. I have no idea whatsoever. But whatever it may be, we are looking at possibilities of funding support for the 100 people to be able to meet that cost of training, boarding, and lodging. And then finally, these 100 people will be certified, will be given a certificate manually signed by 2 or 3 people in a function which will be called as a convocation, where we will invite big companies, the CEOs, the regulators, FAO, WHO, global bodies, World Bank. My thought is, and that is my dream, I do not know whether I'll be successful or not. The plan is that in the first convocation, we should invite the Prime Minister of our country. I do not know whether it will happen, but I'm hopeful. We'll try at least. The idea is that we present this model to the Prime Minister or the minister, whosoever will come. And then if such a dignitary will come, the CEOs of all these companies will come. And mind it that if there are corporate sponsors for your BLEP training, obviously they have something in mind. They might even take you. During my informal discussions with Nestle, I got the impression that they might consider taking 20 people from this group of 100 people. And these 20 people may not necessarily be posted in India. Some might be posted in Switzerland or Germany or South America, or I don't know where. But there could be opportunities to get selected by big corporates and be posted there, either in India or outside India. Because these 100 people are the top people, are the cream of the cream in our country. And you have that opportunity and you have that right to make progress because you are competent. Now, this is what the program was. The applications have started coming in from 23rd of April. I have no idea how many have applied already, but many have already applied. And many of these people who applied day before yesterday, they called me, they wrote to me that originally the exam was to be conducted in the month of June. They said we need a little more time for preparation because we have to prepare on a wider base, both technical and non-technical. So instead of June, can you conduct this exam in the month of August? So day before yesterday, we decided that we will conduct this exam end of September, not August, so that the candidates have 4 months to prepare from now. June, we are in May, June, July, August, September, 4 months. And there are 4 time slots per day over from 25th September to 4th of October. Somebody is speaking. Excuse me, please mute yourself. Please do not disturb others. Thank you. We should be careful about others also. Anyways, from 25th September to 4th of October, there are 10 days, 4 slots per day. Why we have kept 4 slots? Because there will be people who will monitor you on your computer through the camera. So 40 time slots, select the time slot that is most convenient to you. So close off the applications, and then you have mock practice questions also we will give you. 100 questions, 70 in technical areas and 30 in non-technical areas, so that you see the kind of questions that you can expect, the level of questions that you can expect. And this will be opened up after you have registered yourself. And then there is this online exam. Then you have practice sample questions for subjective type as well. And these subjective type will be case studies. And then you take this subjective exam sometime in the month of November. Since there will be only 500 people who will take the subjective exam, we have kept only 2 days and 4 time slots per day, 8 time slots. And then there is the online mentoring in the month of December for 4 days, 5 days. Then group discussion in January, and then final selection in the month of January. Training of 1 month will be in the month of February. And then finally, the ceremony should be in the month of March. This is the broad syllabus. 75% of the questions will be in technical areas, 25% in non-technical areas. So you got to be strong in technical areas. And you see, apart from your food chemistry, food technology, and nutrition and all that, there are subjects related to WTO, SPS, TBT, Codex, the national and international organizations, other organizations of other countries. Supposing there is a question like, who is the food safe? What is the name of the Food Safety Authority of Bangladesh? You should know that. We will not ask you questions of what is written in the regulation on food labeling in the law of Zimbabwe. No, we will not ask you that question. Not even for Europe, we will ask you these kinds of questions. But we might ask you a question saying, what is the number of the food regulation on climate change in Europe? Let us say, just an example. Or when was the Indian nutraceutical regulations notified? Which year? Or something for USA. In which year was the Bioterrorism Act notified by USA? These kinds of general understanding of food laws of different countries you should know. Because if you, after your education, when you enter into food businesses or companies, whether big or small, you would need to know the laws of the country where you want to export. Without this knowledge, you will not be successful. And that is what we want you to understand from now itself. And the people who are familiar with these areas, in general, are the people who will finally get selected. And then in the non-technical areas, your general aptitude. इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस तो सभी जगह पूछे जाते हैं, किसी भी कंपटीशन में. Analytical skills, arithmetical skills. You go out of, Tanvi is going out of her college. She walks 10 meters on the left or in the north, then some meters in the, she takes a left turn and then she takes a right turn and then she goes straight and then comes back. How or whatever, what is the distance she has covered? Those kinds of questions are reasoning questions. These kinds of questions can come. GK, current affairs. You should be familiar with what is happening around you. We want to see, as a competent person, are you focused only on your food technology or microbiology, or you are aware of what is happening around you? English vocabulary, antonyms, synonyms. These are basic things which can be asked to you in level 1 and level 2 and level 3 and level 4. Business management. Business management, we are not expecting you to know what are financial, what is it, balance sheet or something, or analyze something. No. We want to understand whether you have general understanding of business management or relationship within the organization. Senior, junior, those kinds of things. Now, what kind of questions you can expect in objective exam? For non-technical, it is 1 hour, which is 25% of the questions of the total number of questions, as I said. But within this 25%, you can expect about 30% questions on arithmetic and analytical skills. 30% of this 25% could be on general knowledge and current affairs. Business management about 18%. English about 15%. And then you get a 15 minutes break, after which you take the technical module, which is 75% of the questions, for 2 hours, where 25% of the questions would be on food regulations, WTO, Codex, SPS, regulations of India, regulations of other countries in the region, ASEAN, Japan, China, major countries. Then about 28% on food safety, food hygiene, FSMS, food microbiology, public health, those kinds of things. Then about 25% questions will be on food technology, food chemistry, food engineering, food analysis, and 15% on nutraceuticals, nutrition, and those kinds of things. And as I said, level 1 has 1 mark, level 4 has 4 marks. 4 levels of difficulty, answer as many questions as you want. There is no limit. That is the beauty of this competition. And your knowledge and speed will be important in scoring. In the subjective exam, as I said, there will be 1 compulsory question, which will be on regulations, WTO Codex. And out of the remaining 4, you will have to answer 3. In non-technical areas, there will be compulsory question on business management and ethics, business ethics. And out of the remaining 2, you have to answer 1. In GK current affairs, we might ask you to write an essay. Generally, in all these are case studies. We will give you a case study which may be of 4 lines or 20 lines or half a page or 1 page maximum, not more than that. And then we will give you 2 or 3 questions. If they are simple questions, we'll give you 3 questions. If they are a little difficult questions, we might give you 2 questions. But minimum 2 questions will be there. And you have to answer them. However, in the case of GK current affairs, we will ask you to write an essay. Essay doesn't mean 10 pages. Essay means you have to write an essay not more than 500 words, which is 1 page, and no more than 1 page. And the essay could be on any subject. It could be on gender balance. It could be on climate change. It could be on Russia-Ukraine war. You may have any view. That is not important. You may be a supporter of Ukraine. You may be a supporter of Russia. You may be a supporter of NATO. What we want to see in this subjective exam, both technical and non-technical, is how do you present your arguments? Arguments are not important. Your views are not important. Your presentation is important. How do you analyze? All these are case study questions or current affairs questions, essay questions. These are for the purposes of analysis. How do you analyze the issue and how do you present your arguments? This is what we want to see as writing skills. Technical skills we have already seen in the objective exam. Now, writing skills. Finally, you can see the detailed syllabus. This was a summary of the syllabus, but you can see the detailed syllabus on the website of NIFTEM and website of Nestle Food Safety Institute. There are more than 50 FAQs. We have tried to answer as many questions as possible, but still, if you have any questions in mind, either you can ask me today, now, you can put them in the chat box, or then ask a question one by one, or you can even put together all these questions, and these questions could be sent to the Food Pathshala, the Mayuri or somebody, and or Nilesh. They will put together all the questions sent to me, and I promise to reply in less than 24 hours. And proctoring. Proctoring is very important. Whichever laptop or desktop you will use, it must have a camera so that you can be monitored. There may be questions, as I gave you the example, that you go left and right, and what is the distance? You have to apply Pythagoras theorem and do the calculation. Or there is a cylinder and there is a cone, and what is the area? You might have to do some calculations. So you need a paper and pencil. So you have to keep the camera at a particular distance written in the FAQs, so that the camera can see that you are actually doing the calculations. That is very important. And you will be observed for that. And any person who is found doing unethical will be disregarded in the selection process. And the entire proctoring will be recorded so that we have evidence. We are also going to give you a guidance manual for people who have registered, so that you can study. That guidance manual will not be 100 pages, it may be 6 or 7 pages, but will be clearly, will explain to you the process of taking the exam. There will also be technical support when you are giving the exam. Supposing there is a technical problem because of the software. So somebody will be there to resolve your problem whenever you want to take the exam out of those 40 slots. Somebody will be there on the spot at the source. And if there is a problem because of the software, your time gets wasted, you will get an extension of time to that extent, even if it is 10 seconds, because every second counts in an objective exam. But if the problem is of the internet at your end, then it's your problem. You must see the practice questions, the sample questions that we will give you. You must see them. Certificate of participation, as I said, after the objective exam, you will have it. But for the people who are finally selected, there will be printed certificates which will be given to them. There will also be some prizes, hopefully. That is still under discussion. We still have a lot of time because the convocation will be in March. So there is a possibility of some prizes. There's a possibility of medals, gold, silver, and bronze. These kinds of things. But at the end, what is important, and that is what my dream is, to see that you people lead food business globally, like our people are doing in the software industry. I want people in the food industry to also do the same thing. You people should lead food businesses. You people have to carry the flag flying everywhere in the world. Our exports should increase and you should progress. And that is what we are looking at, building career opportunities for you throughout the globe. Make the best use of this opportunity. Submit your application in time, which is 30th June. You have 4 months to prepare well. And all my best wishes to you. Get selected and keep the flag of India flying. Chak de India. Okay, thank you. And I will now be happy to take questions if there are. In the chat box, there are no questions as of now. So if there is any question from anyone, please speak up and I will be happy to respond to you. Thank you. Is there anyone from Mr. Nilesh Lele's office? Can you please moderate the question answer session? I don't know whether people are hearing me. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question? No? Is there anyone? Mayuri?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
Anyone has any questions? Aman?
If anyone has questions, please.
No questions? If there are no questions, then I suppose, Mayuri, can we close the meeting in that case? Nobody is responding. Are you listening?
Yes, sir. If there are no further questions, any questions?
Looks like there are no questions. Okay. So Anjali, do you think that we can close the meeting?
Yes, sir, I think we can. Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance.
And I wish all of you the very best. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you for your information.
Thank you, sir.